to another video brought to you by KeepsakeCrafts.net. I have a jewelry video coming up for you shortly that incorporates sea glass, and I thought I would show you how to make your own faux sea glass beads. All you really need is some polymer clay, and you can get this at most of your craft stores. And the color, it isn't so much as a color as a type, it's translucent. I know right now it doesn't look translucent, but it gets much more so once it's baked. You'll also need some alcohol ink, and there's a couple different companies that make them. These Adirondack ones are great. For sea glass, I like to use the color Stream and also the color Bottle. They make beads that look like they could have once been bottles that were made into sea glass. So right here I have about 1/4 of an ounce of translucent clay, and this is enough to make about 6 beads. And then the alcohol ink, which you need the tiniest part of, you just shake it up a little bit. And then open it, and would you believe even a drop of this ink on this much clay is going to make the colors too intense. So what I like to do is actually take the edge and spread. Even that may be a little bit too much. So I'm going to take a bit of paper towel and just wipe off a little excess. Yes, believe it or not, that's excess. Now the very important thing here is that you let the ink dry completely. It shouldn't be shiny at all on the clay. But that's a little bit. It should be completely matte. And then once that's done, then you can go ahead and thoroughly mix the color into the clay. And you'll be surprised at how much that tiny bit of ink colors this whole piece of clay. So now I've thoroughly mixed in my ink, and it's time to make these into beads. I know right now it looks rather opaque, but it will look more transparent once the clay is baked. And the best way I've found to get kind of irregular beads is to roll it into a log and just break off pieces with your fingers. That way they're all slightly different in size. And then put it between your palms and roll each one into a ball. Now when you're rolling these into balls, you don't really have to worry about making them perfect balls. But you do want to smooth out any folds or seams, because that wouldn't really look right in a piece of sea glass. So we're just going to make these all into ball shapes, and then we're going to shape them. And what I use, because if you use your fingers, then you end up getting fingerprints on these. So what I like to use, this is just a clear acrylic block that stampers use to put cling stamps on. But what I do is I take this and I press each ball 3 times. Just random squish. And I kind of leave the pieces a little more on the flat side. Because if you think about sea glass, it's bottles as a rule, broken pieces of bottles that have been smoothed out. So they're going to be more flat pieces. But you might end up with a thick bit that was the bottom, or something that's a nugget. And I just kind of randomly press these until they're all a little different. And you know what? If you don't like one, you can roll it up in a ball again and start over. So go ahead and shape all of your pieces. So here are all of my little beads shaped. And it's not a bad idea when you're making something faux to have a picture or a bit of the real thing nearby to kind of compare with. And this is actually a piece of real sea glass that a friend gave me. And so yeah, kind of the same roundy organic shapes. The final step before baking is to make holes, and I love to use this. It's a doll needle. It's great for piercing holes in beads. And notice I'm kind of going in at a bit of an angle so that when they dangle they'll be at kind of jaunty angles. And you just stick it in, and wherever it goes is where it goes. Give it a twirl. If you blow out the back side, you can just smooth that out a little and then go back in. And sometimes I send the eye of the needle through, and that kind of widens and smooths out that bit. You could use any needle, but make sure it's not too fat. If it is, you want to start at one side and then go back through the other. That way you won't get those blown out ends on the other side. Now the next step is to bake these, and bake them at the recommended temperature that's on your package. Like here's a package of, you can see, translucent clay, and it will always tell you somewhere, here we are, 275 degrees for 30 minutes per 1/4 inch. So these are maybe a little over 1/4 of an inch at their thickest, so I'd probably bake them for 45 minutes. And just to give you an idea of the difference, here's a piece of unbaked clay, and here's a piece of baked, and you can really see how much more translucent it is once you've baked it. And it kind of looks like sea glass. So go ahead and bake these, and then you have a set of beads. And here are a few other colors. This is the bottle, the green, and this is the stream with a little bit more of it in the mix. And the best way to bake these is to put them on an index card and put them in your oven, and that way they won't end up shiny. You don't want to leave it on a tile like this. You can bake it right on a tile, but find a piece of paper or an index card that you can put them on so that they won't end up shiny on the back side. Well, I'm back with not my finished beads, but a cautionary tale for you that when you put your oven temperature, make sure it's at 275, not 375. Otherwise, what happens is you burn your beads. These are actually kind of fascinating, and I may like paint them with some metal paints and give them patinas. This is certainly not the sea glass beads. And also the fumes from burning polymer clay are toxic. Fortunately, I had baked the clay, let's see if I can get this on camera for you, in one of these, actually 2 of these. It's a disposable aluminum baking pan, and I have, I'll zoom out a little more. I have 2 that I put on top of each other, one upside down, and then clamped the edges with clothespins. And that contained a lot of the stinkiness. You will have to open all your windows and turn on the fans, and the fumes are not good for you. So be sure that you're very careful. We've all probably done it at least once, but be sure you're very careful when you set your oven temp, that it's 275 and nothing much higher. So here we are back once again with my batch of beads baked at the correct temperature. So have a lot of fun with this project. You can try different colors of alcohol inks and make your own beads. I hope that you'll check out the video that accompanies this one for making a bracelet with faux sea glass beads. Thanks so much for watching Keepsake Crafts videos. Up on the screen are 2 more videos you might enjoy. Please be sure to check out my blog, where I have lots of creative ideas and inspiration, and subscribe to this channel and like it so you don't miss a thing. Thanks again, and happy creating. Bye-bye.